Whoever sees this and subscribe gets a free rubber duck. Red Zone is a 1994 Sega Genesis game developed by Zyrinx that is praised for its exceptional graphics and innovative gameplay. The game features an Apache helicopter that the player controls to stop a dictator named Madman Ivan Redovitz from taking over the world. Red Zone utilizes advanced graphical techniques like sprite rotation, vector-based 3D maps, and limited full-motion video, all without requiring additional hardware. The gameplay is a mix of helicopter flight missions and on-foot infiltration of enemy compounds, with the commando stages being particularly well integrated and dynamic. The helicopter has multiple segments that can take damage, affecting speed and control, adding a high level of realism. The game also features a thumping Eurosynth soundtrack that complements the intense action. Red Zone is considered a technical showcase for the Genesis, with its cutting-edge visuals and tight, varied gameplay making it a must-play for fans of the console. While it may be a bit short, the game's exceptional production values and addictive action make it a standout title in the Genesis library. Sonic 3D Blast follows Sonic the Hedgehog on a mission to save the Flickies, birds enslaved by the evil Dr. Robotnik. While the story is similar to previous Sonic games, the gameplay is quite different. Sonic 3D Blast features an isometric perspective, a departure from the traditional side-scrolling Sonic formula. The goal is not to simply reach the end of the level as fast as possible, but to rescue Flickies and guide them to teleportation rings to progress. The isometric view also makes controlling Sonic more challenging, especially on the Genesis D-pad. However, the Saturn version improves this with support for the analog stick on the 3D controller. The game's pre-rendered graphics were impressive for the Genesis, with fluid animation and a vibrant color palette. The soundtrack, especially the Genesis version, is also highly regarded. For some, the game's unique take on Sonic gameplay is a welcome change of pace. Sonic 3D Blast offers a different, more puzzle-oriented gameplay experience compared to the series norm, with great visuals and music, but a control scheme that takes some getting used to. Whether the story and gameplay are fun is subjective, but the game is certainly an interesting and ambitious entry in the Sonic canon. Galaxy Fight Universal Warriors is a 1995 arcade fighting game developed by Sun Corporation and published by SNK for the Neo Geo. The game features a similar engine to Waku Waku 7, another fighting game released the same year, but the two games have distinct characters and storylines. Galaxy Fight follows the standard 2D fighting game formula, with players choosing a character and fighting opponents in one-on-one matches. The game was praised for its impressive graphics and animation, taking advantage of the Neo Geo's hardware capabilities. The character designs were also well received, with each fighter having a unique visual style and special moves. However, some critics felt that Galaxy Fight lacked originality, as it didn't bring many new ideas to the fighting game genre. The game also faced stiff competition from other popular fighting games released around the same time, such as the King of Fighters 95. Galaxy Fight is a solid fighting game that showcases the Neo Geo's technical prowess. Its unique sci-fi setting and character designs, along with its excellent soundtrack, make it an interesting addition to the Neo Geo library for fans of the system. Blazing Star, released in 1998 for the Neo Geo arcade and home systems, is a shoot-'em-up video game developed by Yuma Kobo and published by SNK. The game received praise for its graphics, gameplay, and difficulty balance, showcasing SNK's commitment to keeping classic genres alive. Blazing Star features side-scrolling action similar to its predecessor, Polestar, with improvements in graphic quality and a variety of playable ships and power-up types. The game was designed to address the high difficulty stigma of Polestar, aiming to offer a more balanced and engaging experience. Critics lauded Blazing Star for its boss battles, graphics, and for revitalizing the Neo Geo shooter scene. Despite some criticism for uneven stage design, the game's re-releases on smartphones and home consoles have garnered greater recognition, highlighting its enduring appeal and contribution to the shoot-'em-up genre. Toy Story, released in 1995 for the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, is a side-scrolling platform game based on the popular film. The game received positive reviews for its engaging gameplay and impressive visuals, especially considering the limitations of the consoles at the time. Developed by Traveller's Tales, the game featured 3D rendered graphics, with Pixar providing animations of Woody and Scud from the film. Despite the Genesis having a limited color palette, the developers used special techniques to enhance the visuals. John Burton, the founder of Traveller's Tales, played a crucial role in the game's design and programming. Toy Story was well received on the Genesis and SNES, showcasing the technical capabilities of these consoles in delivering an enjoyable gaming experience with charming graphics that were remarkable for their time. Donkey Kong Country 3 is a 1996 platform game developed by Rare and published by Nintendo for the Super Nintendo. It is the third installment of the Donkey Kong Country series and serves as a direct sequel to Donkey Kong Country 2. Dixie Kong utilizes the same Silicon graphics technology from its predecessors, which features the use of pre-rendered 3D imagery. The game received positive reviews upon release. Critics praised the visuals and various aspects of gameplay. The gameplay retained the same formula as the previous Donkey Kong Country games, with the addition of new vehicles and animal buddies to aid the Kongs in their quest. However, the soundtrack received a more mixed response. While some critics praised the music's quality, others felt it was not as memorable or iconic as the soundtracks in the previous games. Despite the mixed opinions on the music, Donkey Kong Country 3 was a commercial success and is considered a satisfying conclusion to Rare's cycle of 16-bit platformers. In 2018, Complex listed the game number 65 in their The Best Super Nintendo Games of All Time ranking. If you've made it this far, I want to personally thank you for your support and kindly ask you to subscribe for more gaming content. Though not an old game, as it was released in 2021, Demons of Asteborg is a testament to the continued creativity and innovation in the retro gaming community. The game was developed by Neofid Studios and released in 2021 for the Sega Genesis. Game is inspired by classic titles such as Ghouls and Ghosts, Castlevania, Mickey Mania, Space Harrier, and Panzer Dragoon. Demons of Asteborg has received attention for its challenging gameplay and nostalgic value, with reviews and gameplay videos available on YouTube. The game features crisp, well-realized graphics that make it easy to see what's going on at all times. The gameplay follows a similar formula to the games that inspired it, with the player navigating through various levels filled with enemies and obstacles. The game has been praised for its nostalgic value and the developers' efforts to push the limits of the Genesis hardware. Each level in Demons of Asteborg is thoughtfully crafted to provide a mix of platforming, combat, and exploration. From forests to caves to castles, each level ensures a diverse and engaging gameplay experience for players as they progress through the game. Thank you very much for watching. If you've played any of the games mentioned, be sure to write them out in the comments. See you soon in the next video.